I'm really honoured to be here today. Yeah, war. I'm just so over it. But my respects to the victims of war, to the victims that are in hospital, to the victims that have to plan funerals, to the victims. Anyway, I'd like to sing in my language. This is a love song, actually. Yeah, for Karekariana. And I want to sing another song after that I wrote when Russia invaded Ukraine. Oh, Karekariana, na waira toruwa, hitiate kahine, marinu ono ehine, hoki maira, kamate ahau, kite ara hae, e kore te aroha, e maroke te ra.
Gonna take the mic off, the possum off. Let me know how the sound goes. Just noticed just over here is David McBride giving an interview to someone. There he is, tall bloke with the dog. Forgotten his dog's name.
You had to go. Please hurry back.
Jake.
I miss you so. I think there's a few kids around today, so we'd like to sing this song. It's a song that belongs to the Pacific, but I think it was about the early 90s that Tinners brought it out, revived it. singing war songs now. But yeah, this one came out in about 80s, I think. It's a Sunday song. And when I used to go busking on a Sunday morning down at the markets down there near Fishwick Markets, yeah, I'd sing every Sunday morning this song. Sunday morning up in the park, think I'd take a walk in the park. Hey, 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 it's a beautiful day. This is my beautiful Sunday. This is my beautiful day. When you say that you love me. Whoa, my, it's a beautiful day. That's her singing down by my side. When I see her, I go for a ride. Hey, 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 it's a beautiful day. This is my beautiful Sunday. This is my beautiful day. When you say that you love me. Whoa, my, it's a beautiful day. You join me. On the road to freedom, we shall not be moved. On that road to freedom, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's standing by the waterside, we shall not be moved. I ain't gonna start any war no more. Ain't gonna start any war no more. Ain't gonna start any war no more. Brothers together, we shall not be moved. Sisters together, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's standing by the waterside, we shall not be moved. Shabazz, I ain't gonna start any war no more. Ain't gonna start any war no more. Ain't gonna start any war no more. I ain't gonna start any war no more. Ain't gonna start any war no more. Ain't gonna start any war no more.
Okay, I'm just going to intervene and then I'm going to go again, just to introduce you to a couple of amazing artists. Up next, we've got Brother Jay here. He's going to do some spoken word, and Brother Jay's here because he just wants to be among other beautiful, positive, harmonious souls like every one of you that have made the effort to come out here today. And after that, we're going to have Kevin Bruce, who's a muso, and he's also a human rights activist. and he's going to play some songs. There's a special one he's written for Major McBride. He's somewhere out there. We'll have to stick around and listen to it. And one for Julian Assange, and another couple of tunes. So after that, we're going to have a couple of politicians come up to the stage, or maybe one, and then we'll just start to turn up the heat, literally today, and more people will be arriving there. So hand it over to Brother Jay.
Hi everyone, I guess this is all about coming together with the Palestinian march yesterday and everything. So this poem's called An Inner Journey, and it goes, to be alone with time as one, engage the journey that's begun. I dream my thoughts with actions run, and of this world the mystery's fun. For what I am I have become, a wondrous dreamer in the sun. And thus again my journey has come to a point parallel with where it begun. I reflect my travel unto you, where is the truth that I once knew. For my beliefs are hard and stare, and attitude, and even care. Though within our world, true love is rare. With whom our troubles can we share? Inside of me, my universe, this is the world that I must traverse. For no one here can be my guide. So on this journey that my deep fears hide, so with no map, no compass, it's all I marked. What shall I pack as I embark? I've heard this place is cold and bare, and its reality has a blinding glare. So take only courage, that's all you'll need. You must walk naked amongst these trees. So strip back your skin and bare your soul to see what's inside that makes you whole. Inside of us is a tangled knot on which our lives they snag and rot. So intrepidly I bare my flesh and begin to untangle this barbed wire mesh. With experiences from our childhood past, they were the first but not the last. And by the grace of God I'm overcome, for my healing journey has begun. And with a wish I fantasise about what could happen in our lives if we truly understood our gift of sister, brotherhood, namaste.
Is Maddie, do you know where Jody and Maddie?
No, I don't know, man.
Got
Give
lost
us a call.
on the way?
Well, I knew where to come. It's really... Daddy knows where to come, doesn't he?
Oh, I think they said they were going to Bunnings or something.
We're going to Bunnings and beer for me, but we'll go to you by now.
Well, it is Maddie's driving, so...
Yeah, well, I realise that, but it can't take that long, son. Something's gone fucking pretty wrong, probably.
Putting the possum back on.
They're coming.
What's that?
Brody and Matt.
1, 2. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, welcome Canberra. What a lovely day, eh? And a really good cause. So I've got some songs to play for you which are certainly in the theme of freedom and, you know, what are we going to do about all this tyranny that's going on around the world. So this is the first one. This is called I Love Alternative Media. Censorship is increasing. The will of the people isn't being heard. love alternative media. People all around the world agree. Too many people are being persecuted. Standing up to Satan's voice. The evil must be balanced with goodness. And free-flowing information is vital. No questions about it. I love alternative media. In this life, it's like a cool breeze in the heat of the day. Be thankful for free-flowing information. It's our birthright to be informed. No more dumbing down the population. Declaring age is here and here to stay. Elites who run the world. The truth is like the sun. And light can kill darkness. And love is the palatable of love. Hear me saying love, love. I live alternative media. We shine light on darkness. Standing up for human rights. We're fighting for a fake life. I love taking media. We love alternative media. I love alternative media. We love alternative media. I wanna be able to have my say. I love alternative media. I want you to spread your truth around the world. Media, just like a beacon of hope in the stormy sea. I love alternative media. We love alternative media. Alternative media. The new song. Sorry. This is sorry, just I've got a really high tech thing going on here with my music stand.
Just gonna move you out of the wind. See how we go.
No, that's yep. Okay, so this one's called Song for David McBride. Let me tell you a story about a man of integrity, caught up in bureaucracy. He has the courage of his convictions. He saw injustice and tried to put it right. And now he's facing jail for being a real man and standing up for what is right. If you hadn't been in his position,
Back on.
that's all being unjustly murdered. You won't perpetrate his potential. This man has a people and heart, facing prison. After trying to look authorities to walk, the way the people need to right the wrong. David McBride is a trooper. A real super duper, incredible human being. Deserves human
Yep.
crikey, he's really in a pickle. Telling the truth, that needs our love and support. David McBride, you are a hero. The prosecutor's case is a big fat zero, and deserves to be thrown out. And you deserve compensation. compassion for what they've put you through. You and your family have suffered enough, and now he's back in some pain. All the good people of Australia. David McBride, you are a hero. And by rights you should be in charge of the army. The whistleblower's done us all a favor. He won't resolve our responsibility nor accountability. We need him free and engaged to continue the good work that he has already started. David McBride is a hero. His detractors raise a big fat zero, and we won't rest until he's free. From the clouds of injustice, he's a good and fine man, a gentleman to make all Aussies proud. I'm gonna see it through until your name is clear, and you get the justice you deserve. David McBride is a legend, a real pal, someone you can trust. He's intelligent and erudite. Do him a favor, make him drop the charges, give him back his freedom. He's done nothing wrong, he's a national treasure. Hey, thank you. I think a lot of us here can agree with the sentiment of that.
Some technical difficulties there.
This one, I put this on YouTube and picture, it's been out for a while. It's called Bring Him Home, Julian Assange. And yeah, there's not much more we need to say about that. Just get him out of that hellhole and bring him home where he belongs in Australia. Here we go. Where he belongs, amen. And that's a noble thing to do. Any decent person would do that. They send our people up to fight for freedom. Yet freedom of the press is frowned upon. To war crimes, and for that he should be hailed as a hero. Instead he's in a prison for why we have to demand his freedom. Australia is where he belongs, man. Only to shine a light on darkness. And that's a noble thing to do, any decent person would do that too. No matter who or where you are, to all decent people his fight is most bizarre. We the people have a right to know. He want the truth and not some sleazy sideshow. Freedom of the press is vital. We stand together side by side for it all. Bring him home. Australia is where he belongs. He ran no home only to shine a light on darkness. And that's a noble thing to do. Any decent person will do that too. should be doing more. 6 p.m. Turnbull stated he broke no restraint. So ready to send out your country wars. It's time to fight for Julian's right to return to our shores. Setting it free is absolute minimum. For him to be locked up is so criminal. Bring him home. This is where he belongs. He man, I'm only to shine a light on darkness. And that's a noble thing to do. Any decent person would do that too. Set him free. Bring him home. Australia is where he belongs. He man, come only to shine a light on darkness. And that's a noble thing to do. Any decent person would do that too. Julian Assange, out of jail is where he belongs. Free Assange, bring him home. Bring him home. It's way too long. What did he do in the first place? He was a journalist. Okay. So this one's very relevant. I wrote this a few years ago, especially what's going on in the Middle East. As we all know, very heart-wrenching stories of the time before. But I mean, most people want peace. It's never nationality. It's just a few people from endless wars. So this is my heartfelt plea for bring peace to the world. Lift your spirit to the sky, to the sky. There's a reason to believe in yourself. A better perspective on life. And so far away, I'm longing to sleep and enjoy every day. And so far so good. To be wonderful. Sometimes a dose of sanity is needed. The world can be a crazy place. Sometimes we need a gentle reminder. Some words of encouragement. Living in an uneasy world, while still believing in love. I still believe in love. You're looking for another place. Oh, this world's all us to improve. I'm so far away. I'm longing to sleep and enjoy every day. And so far so good. You're trying like you should to be wonderful. Trying to live in an uneasy world while still believing in love. Keep believing in love. You're looking for another place to go. I can see another point of view. And so far away. It's a dream from yesterday. Bring peace to the world. Bring peace to the world, and we'll have peace in our time. Bring peace to the world. Bring peace to the world. Peace to the world. Peace to the world. Bring peace to the world. Thank you. Let me finish with this piece. I'd like to dedicate this to all the whistleblowers out there who are standing up for our rights. Thank you all. And to each and every one of you for coming on today and supporting this. Thank you. Your light is always shining bright. Let's raise the planet of vibration and think about love. Thank you, folks. Have a great day, and thank you all for coming. Peace. Cheers. Peace and love.
Just a retired trade unionist, but he's so much more. He's been a fierce advocate for unions most of his life, and he is now promoting peace over war and violence. And so come on over.
Thank you very much.
Looks like a good t-shirt. Yeah, it feels good.
I'd like to start by acknowledging that this land was never ceded by the First Nations people. I pay my respects to the Ngunnawal leaders, past, present and emerging. I want to start by talking briefly about our national culture and our leadership elites, by which I mean governments, bureaucracy, media, the military, academia and industry, who are our myth makers. I ask myself why leaders have taken us into so many foreign and illegal wars as a subordinate ally of the USA. What leads to the official outrage when just some of these crimes are exposed by whistleblowers? How have we reached the point of immorality as a nation when we can't even support a UN resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza? Like much of my generation, I grew up within a cultural framework distorted towards the imperial powers, both Britain and the US. As kids, we played cowboys and Indians. Naturally, we wanted to play the role of the cowboy and shoot Indians because they were the savages who scalped white people. That's what we thought. We never played squatters and blackfellas. We knew nothing of the frontier wars in Australia. We knew nothing of the violent dispossession of the First Nations. We were taught the British Empire was a benign force that brought the benefits of civilization to the unruly tribes of primitives all over the world, such as the Medieval Empire and the associated rise of capitalist economic formations. Great mythologies are always created and then propagated by the mainstream media and those wielding power to manufacture the consent of the populace. This is where an independent and fearless media comes in. What have my childish delusions got to do with the reasons we are gathered here today? Our relationship to the world is not about ethics, no matter how dressed up in these days to be about democracy and respect for human rights. That it should be is not in doubt. And our main task is to make it so by exposing the hypocrisy, the lies, the compromises, and the violence. This is where whistleblowers come in. They inform the public about uncomfortable truths. The extent of the gap between an idealised and false narrative and actual reality began to dawn on me with the bombing, the brutality and the massacres in Vietnam. Who can forget My Lai? Or the use of burning napalm on human flesh? We owe so much to the journalists who at that time exposed the carnage and the publishers who had the courage to report. Who can forget the role of that courageous whistleblower, Daniel Ellsberg, and the release of the Pentagon Papers that exposed the patterns of deceit by successive US administrations in relation to the prosecution of that terrible war. Ellsberg, like Assange, was charged with espionage. His prosecution was dropped as the full scope of political corruption of Watergate emerged through the work, again, of courageous journalists. The United States emerged dominant in every measure at the end of World War II and created the Pax Americana we know today. It's an empire in all but name, and it spans the globe. Pax is Latin for peace, but the behaviour of the US has been far from peaceful. In fact, it has been at war somewhere for most of its history. Today, the US maintains control through a vast array of over 800 military bases and enough destructive power to destroy the world many times over. It cultivates allies, interferes in the politics of sovereign countries, instigates coups, subverts governments of any complexion, including democracies, wages war, and or encourages proxies to do so for it. 6 million people died as a result of the US war on terror in its response to the terror attack of 9/11. Australia is a subservient ally, and it's fairly clear that the basic bipartisan agreement is that we follow the lead of our great and powerful friend, abandoning both independence and peaceful international behaviour in exchange for protection by the United States. A particularly virulent form of capitalist organisation holds sway in the US. Its neoliberal economics has spread like a virus, including to Australia. Our biggest companies are owned and controlled by foreign interests, principally from the US. These corporations wield immense influence on our domestic politics. The big question is why our national leaders show such little awareness that our national interests are not the same as the US and its empire. I've come to the conclusion that the elites in both countries are so entwined with each other they don't know the difference. The unpublished AUKUS agreement, negotiated by Scott Morrison, the guy who just went to cheer on war crimes in Gaza, and endorsed by Labor, just after 24 hours of consideration, integrates our military almost completely with that of the US. It involves the acquisition of nuclear-propelled submarines intended to project our capacity to destroy and kill far from our shores. We run the grave risk that their enemy automatically becomes our enemy and China is in the US sights. So back to whistleblowers. Afghanistan and Iraq were laid waste by America despite the fact that the invasion of another country is an illegal act of war in international law. Julian Assange, as a journalist and publisher, exposed war crimes in Iraq, and for this, the US is pursuing him, an Australian citizen, under its espionage laws, far beyond its territorial boundaries. It's crushing a courageous person who blew the whistle on criminality. David McBride, an Australian military lawyer, also exposed war crimes, this time in Afghanistan, and for this he is being prosecuted in Australia. How can any democracy survive, let alone thrive, where truth-tellers are imprisoned and the public are kept in the dark by self-serving governments? It's time, Labour. It's time to stop the prosecution of David McBride, who runs the very real risk of being jailed for exposing war crimes before the perpetrators themselves. It's time to stop the persecution of Julian Assange. It's time for the craven Albanese government to step up and protect its citizens from the US empire's overreach. It's time we demanded of our government policies that mark us out as truly independent and above all peaceful. Thank you for listening. I'd like to thank the organisers of today's rally for inviting to speak as a local IPAN activist. We have a table over there, and if anyone wants to come over and have a chat about how they can help build the peace movement in the ACT, please come and see us. Thanks.
Okay, I've got a very special guest going to speak to you all now, and I just thought of something that I didn't mention earlier, which is if people could just get out their phone and take a photo of something somewhere at this festival and tweet or put it out on social media, that would be great, and encourage people to come along to the court tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I hope all of you will be there to support David McBride on his first day of the most unjust trial in history. Okay, the next speaker I have is Julianne Finney. Julianne is the mother to David, who served 20 years in the ADF. Sadly, he committed suicide in 2019. He was discharged from the army with PTSD, and Julianne says that was it. There was no condolence card, there was no aftercare, just left to deal with the demons himself. So this is very important, and so please listen. And if you can, come forward if you're brave enough in the bright sun here, just to bring a bit of intimacy and some support for Julianne Finney, who's very difficult to talk about this stuff coming up to her son's 5th year anniversary. So, thanks. Hi, my name is Julianne, and I am the mother of this remarkable man, David, who served for 20 years in our Australian Defence Force. I'm here today to support another remarkable David McBride, who also served a long time in our Defence Force. No matter what I say today about the institutions, I am proud of all who serve, I am proud of all who have served. But what I'm not proud of is the ADF, and I was incredibly relieved when we got a new government in May last year, but that hasn't worked out either. So what is happening is ADF will abandon you if you need just a small bit of help
they will abandon you. They have abandoned David McBride for doing the right thing, and they abandoned my son when he asked for help. And now he's dead, and I have to live with that. I defy any politician to tell me to get over it and to move on. So what's happened with this new government is we have a Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide that includes attempts and ideation as well as completed. But the new government, the commissioners have asked for an extension of time, but the new government has said no, enough is enough, and they had the guts, the gall to tell me that they didn't want to undo my good work by extending the Royal Commission. And so far, they have done nothing to protect any veteran, be that veteran alive and facing whistleblowing charges when they did the right thing, or be they dead when they asked for help. Don't enlist until it's fixed. Don't enlist in our ADF. They will abandon you and you will die. Your life won't be worth living, whether it's psychologically, financially, or dead. Don't enlist.
Okay, it's really important to reflect on those matters today. But the next performer we've got is Jason, and he's going to solo blues artist, and he's come all the way from Naarm, as did a couple of our other musos today. So thank you for coming all that way. And he's going to bring up the beat, and hopefully we can have some people coming up the front and having a dance. And after that, we might have Emma Davidson here, Minister for Veterans in the ACT.
Thank you. I was sitting under an old gum tree. I was living the Australian dream. I was waiting for someone to come show me what it really means. That was then, here I am. No, I haven't said a thing. What's come before, I don't know when. When I'm standing up to move, I'll take my rest against that old tree. I've got my iPad singing digitized songs and covering most of the country. I'm gonna sit back down, not going anywhere. But you already look small. That was then and here I am. No, I haven't said a thing. What's come before, I don't know when. I'm still sitting by myself. I tell myself all the things she didn't say. She never said a word. I'll take my rest upon this ground. No need to walk this country. I've got the city everywhere, man. That was then and here I am. No, I haven't said a thing. What's come before, I don't know when. Well, I'm still searching for that woman in my mind. I'm captured by the gaze I haven't seen. What's this looking at you, looking back at me in the distance? I'm a dreaming Australia now. That was then and here I am. No, I haven't said a thing. What's come before, I don't know when. song is moving from Australia to dream to dreaming of Australia. This is a song that came out of some of these fracking wars out of Borroloola 5 or 6 years ago. Clouds far off and the rain coming in, I've seen this all before. And the sun beats down upon my brow, wipe away the tears. Dust bowl till the cattle burn out, we sail home is gone. The money come in as the water goes out, what's right is surely wrong. And I know, deep inside of me there's a beating in my heart. And in that heart there is a song somebody wants to
Is there a
sing.
road that goes this?
Yeah, I think it's just to here.
Cups to the lips.
I might have to go for a walk, hey?
When I'm feeling mighty lonesome, I don't want to drink. It'll break my back just to think of that. So much sand is quick. Crocodile retreat to the government feeds and the promise of a war. Who was this here with a gun to his ear and the language of defeat? Yes, I know, deep inside of me there's a beating in my heart. And in that heart there is a song somebody wants to sing. Open up the mouth and the words ring through, cups to the lips, water to drink. Yeah, the rain's been coming, the rain been gone for 40 days and nights. Black crow fly, could come by, feel his land in sight. Kangaroo dance to his life and chance, and the world and stars that sing. I'll raise my snout and look at all doubt, emu dance about. I know, deep inside of me there's a beating in my heart. And in that heart there is a song somebody wants to sing. Open up the mouth and the words ring through, cups to the lips, water to drink. Cups to the lips, water to drink. Got my friend Jace up here. Information, request for information. Information, request for information. Request for information.
Take it for a walk. It's not too windy right now. I'll take the sock off.
Request for information. Request for information. Priest none, priest none, none, priest none, priest none, priest, none, priest, none. Information, request for information. Information, request
There's the real star of the show, Jake, David McBride's best friend.
request for information. Information, request for information. Thanks very much. Thanks, James. One more small tune on the theme. I know, you know, I know, you know, I know, you know, I know that you know that I know, you know, I know that you know that I know, you know. He said, she said, he said, she said, he said, she said, he said that she said that he said, she said, he said that she said that he said, she said, yes, no, maybe, not now, yes, no,
Bit too windy for that.
maybe. Yes, no, maybe, not now. Yes, no, but maybe just a minute.
I'm not sure what the guy's name is.
Yes, no,
Maybe
just a minute.
Maddie's sound system might know.
I know.
Go ask Maddie.
You know that I know, you know.
Hey,
I
Matt,
know, you know.
do you know this dude's name, the guitarist?
No.
You don't know his name?
I know, you know.
Yes.
I
Sorry,
know,
sorry,
you
John.
know.
We don't know his name, but
I know
he's good.
that you know that I know, you know. I know that you know that I know, you know.
Wait, is that Paul's live stream?
Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the afternoon. Remember the weather. There's wonderful T-shirts have been designed with the Truth Not War crew and everybody else. Thanks.
And this is Canberra Protest 2022.
Okay, I'm going to introduce the next
supposed to
string of
28.
guests and performers,
That's right.
and then I'm going to come back a bit later. So first of all, we've got the amazing Emma Davidson coming up to the stage. Emma is a member of the Greens Party. She is the Minister for Veterans and for Mental Health, and she has a whole heap of other ministries. She's been standing by David's side since day one. When David was on his own, he started this campaign, and it's just grown and grown and grown. And Emma's been a fierce advocate behind the scenes to help David's campaign move along and to stop this unjust prosecution. The big bus has just arrived, the truck, so make sure you get a photo in front of it and tweet it out or Facebook it out so we can just get the message out there today and ramp it up for tomorrow 8 a.m. at the Supreme Court House. After Emma, we're going to have some more musos. We've got Ian Paulin, the 3 o'clock boogie, Poppy Roo, who's going to do some spoken word, and then I'm going to get back up and introduce some very, very, very special performers today that none of you have heard before, and they're going to be launching a song today for David McBride, and I'm very excited. Mum and Dad duo. I'll talk more about them when we get close to that. So enjoy Emma's speech and the next lot of musos.
everyone. It is so wonderful to see so many of you out here today to support David and to support democracy and to support good justice. The first thing I want to say is that this prosecution is not in the public interest. It needs to be dropped, and it can be dropped if the Attorney General wants to do that. Now, we're in a city where I know that there are veterans who have PTSD as a result of moral injury. And I want to talk for a little bit about what moral injury is and what it means. It means that there are people out there who have gone into service because they really care about honour and about doing the right thing and following those rules of engagement. And when they find out that some of the people that they're going into this work with are not following the same rules, that really hurts. That's the kind of thing that can create moral injury. And so it is really important when we're asking people to sign up to do things that are difficult and dangerous and have really clear rules, that we support their mental well-being. Now, there are veterans in this city right now who can't afford to see a GP. They can't afford to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and they can't find one. But at the same time as those veterans are having so much difficulty accessing the support that they need, we have a Defence Force that is planning to spend more than $47 million through to the 2031-2032 financial year to recruit more 17 to 24-year-old young people to go and fight. Now, if we can afford to spend that much money doing that, and if we can afford to spend more than $1 million up until February of this year on a trial for David McBride, then surely we could afford to take better care of people, to prevent moral injury and to support people who have PTSD and who are experiencing difficulties as a result of their service. So what I am saying is there are better things that we could be doing as a government with our time and money than this trial. That is why this prosecution needs to be dropped. It is not in the public interest and it should be dropped now. I'm going to hand over to Ian in a minute. He's going to come and play some more music for you. But I want to say it is really important that we're able to see that this is something that so many of you care about. So I want to thank every single one of you for showing up today, for continuing to show up time after time, and to give your support to people who need it. Thank you.
Way too much hair. So, whilst I push my hair out of my mouth fairly repeatedly during this set, I will try and sing you 3 songs. First one's called Bring Our Brother Home. And I thought I'd write it from the point of view of first person. What it might be like to be someone like Julian Assange and want to come home. G'day, I'm Julian. Guess you heard a lot about me. Here I am as flesh and blood boy. In a web of life, they steal my life away. One bed, one door, 4 empty walls, never knowing what I'll wake to with each dawn. Break the chains, let it go. Only try to tell us what we need, what we need to know. Shake those doors, through them wide. The worthy soul is trapped inside. It's time to right this wrong and bring our brother home. Bring our brother home. was slaughtered like a lamb. 530 rock behind the bars. Speaking truth to power was such a dangerous game. But we find out what they really care about.
We're zoomed in. That's scary.
Shake those doors, pour them wide. A worthy soul is trapped in time. It's time to right this wrong. Bring our brother home.
Good afternoon, guys, and good morning, Nobby. Yeah, I'm not sure who's playing the guitar at the moment, John. Thank you for joining us.
But what matters more is you know what they do. Secrets and lies kill thousands every day. So the laws you judge me by are just a climb.
Well, you enjoy your day, probably already missed yours.
You'd like to make a change. Then the shackles that you break.
That's right. So, John, Barrenjoey Road, National Rock Garden every morning. Yeah, Vaughan's gone above and beyond today, Nobby, just for you.
This one's a little bit quieter. Keep the grunge, I'll do a bit more on that. No problem. I finished this song this morning. Watching Kelly, watching Al Jazeera. Hopefully it works. Great thing about writing a new song is if you get the words, you can make it up on the spot. It's called Al Shifa. Some of you remember that. Al Shifa, mother is weeping, mother is weeping, love the children. So this song was written on the steps of the trade school. It's got a chorus. So if you're not particularly busy at the moment, would you like to throw yourself into the vocal complexity of the chorus?
Thank you. Don't you eat any.
I'll try and get it straight a few times.
Don't you eat any. Don't give them to Bazzy.
Because the song is for everyone. This place, it wasn't made by you or me. But all those hidden hands that labored in our struggles to be free. So when the thieves come to divide us, steal the harvest of our world, feel your courage burn inside you. Feel the turn of fortune's wheel, and remember, we are one people of these streets. There is, we have more than enough for everyone. More than enough for everyone. For everyone. Our eyes get to stare at the fateful shadows, and we know it's a darkness wrought by those who always do this to us. But you know that never count on our resistance. They never reckon with our fire. Feel your courage burn inside you. Feel the turn of fortune's wheel, and remember, we are one people of these streets. There is, we have more than enough for everyone. More than enough for everyone. For everyone. What does it mean to live our lives? We're always standing on the edge. Always waiting at some crossroads, but you know that's where I know we'll find our next horizons. This earth belongs to no one but itself. We get to walk in special places, protect the life, share wealth. And from all our love and peaceful fight, to get no grief but give no ground. Feel your courage burn inside you. Feel the turn of fortune's wheel, and remember, we are one people in the sun. There is, we have more than enough for everyone. We are one people in the sun. There is, we have more than enough for everyone. More than enough for everyone. So I'm going to wave to all the people on the stalls over there and say thank you for your work. People on the stalls.
say hello to all the people under the tree there. Thank you for keeping that bit of the grass warm. Thank you for coming. Thank you for... I'd like you all to give a huge round of applause for everybody who's worked to put this on today and bring you everyone here. Thank them for their work. And I'll do this sad little chorus one more time. If you find yourself in it, that would be really cool. We are one people in the sun. There is, we have more than enough for everyone. More than enough for everyone. There's a man clapping along. Why don't you join him? That's okay. It's too hot to really do anything. So a couple more times. There's more than enough for everyone. More than enough for everyone. More than enough for everyone. For everyone. Thank you, folks. See you. Enjoy your afternoon.
So folks, we've got more special guests have arrived. We just had a little convoy in the back here with two of our famous brothers and fellow whistleblowers, Mr. Jeffrey Morris. Jeff, give him a round of applause. Jeff was the legend who blew the whistle on the Commonwealth Bank, which led to the Royal Commission into banking. So he suffered personally, financially, like everybody else going through this drama. We also have another legend, Troy Stokes, who blew the whistle on New South Wales clubs for their money laundering and shenanigans. So give a big round of applause to those guys. We'll hear from them a bit later. And thank you for the gentlemen, of course, who put the truck in here, the emergency fire truck. What we do have here is a fire, and it needs putting out. This court case, which starts tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you know, we're going to be there at 8:30 tomorrow in front of the courthouse. And we want you all along there to support David and to let them know that we are watching. We are watching closely. Thank you.
Take it back. Doesn't have to be you anymore. Pop back. Oh, hang on.
Sausages, vegan sausages, and meat sausages, and drinks off the London David McBride fire truck. Fundraiser is also being live for Trick Us these campaigns over at the t-shirt.
Myself right now. I'm 3 o'clock bogey. Thanks heaps to all the wonderful organisers, activists, artists, and volunteers, and beautiful souls who are here today. Putting this together. My original songs. Some guitar, normally I've got drum machine. machines and stuff like that, but thought it might be a bit more in the vibe to play some, yeah, good old Stringbox. This first song was dedicated to Julian Assange and to Chelsea Manning. Dynamite the site and the sabotage of officers, fat barrage of rockets hit and the mind consumer confidence. Remind a few we stopping this kind of do the bomb the bridge, box it up. Small pockets of opulence, draw them up to stall the robber, call them out for consequence, draw them up to stall the robber, call them out for consequence, draw them up to stall the router, call them out for consequence, draw them up to stall the robber, call them out. Five eyes get gouged when I see through your prism. Five eyes for hours, then the big glue, the schism. Rappers flow, Neil slap a blow, run the fattest flow, with the status quo, pow pow, the hackers go. Try to mute me, but when things get spooky, yes, that man on the mic, a megaphone here to swing it crudely. Stripping moving out, relinquish civil liberties. Freaking rude, you can't distinguish people privacy. Ain't no terror, just my right to free associate. Clap between my lyrical supply to reappropriate. Hope we take settlement, maybe give up. Now the people's army come up, we gotta live up. Dynamite the site and the sabotage your offices. Fat barrage of rockets, dynamite consumer confidence. Why do we stop on this? Trying to do the wrong proof. Structure beside the profit fix. Small pockets of opulence. You're the one to stole the robber, call them out for consequence. You're the one to stole the robber, call them out for consequence. You're the one to stole the robber, call them out for consequence. We're the mob to stall them out, call them out for consequence. Without the line, I can perpetrate this art of mine. And if you bump it, you're an accessory, part of crime. Life is fine, but before the civic laws of mine, you know they're up to no good with the spine and the dynamite. Puncturing the pipeline, faction man is standing. Springing in the link like that legend Chelsea Manning. Had me ready, never sent me, let me show you in. Keeping down your throat, run and roll, I get it slowed in. One suggestion, put me on your watch list. Best be sure everybody cops this. Find a weapon, make you pick while the clock ticks. XG score, reading different when we law fix. Dynamite the site, sabotage your offices. Got the rush of rockets, and I'm consumer confidence. Remind me before we stop on this. Time to move the bomb, the bridge, structure the sign of office. Small pockets of opulence. Call them up, destroy the robber, call them out for consequence. Call them up, destroy the robber, call them out for consequence. Wear them up, destroy the robber, call them out for consequence. Wear them up, destroy the robber, call them out. Let's start the rob. It's not too much of a diversion. A bit of feedback. We'd like to smidge it. Is that all right? On the guitar. Wrote this song in 2007. When you're talking about our way of life, that's the way of life that gives them the power to live like kings out of the strife. The bridge in the streets every hour. When they talk about our way of life, that's the way of life that gives them the power to live like kings out of the strife. The bridge in the streets every hour. You're now down to walk a rock than me. Assistant back here, my brother went number 3. What is it they want us all to run and defend? When did they ever ask you and else for your consent? Isn't it the system we were born into, my friend? How long you want to justify and still defend? Professional cons no longer needing to pretend. Then bullshit again and again until the bitter end. With all the roots from there, this dilemma that stands. There'll be thousands of us for every 10 of them. My words extend with love through my pen when I sing. Piece of war on friend or foe. Now you know that depend on who's down for the struggle, who's here to me. Mistakes of the past, working poor or affluent. We don't think birthday possessions, that's evident. I can't remind of just what it is that heaven meant. Life is of the most profound beauty when we express our love. life is our most profound. We express our love. Life is of the most profound beauty when we express our love. Life is of the most profound beauty when we express our love for freedom. They talk about being secure when their actions are far from pure. How long I've got to listen to they spout manure. How long my people of the earth will endure. Looking for a cure, but what's the problem? All these Muslims and now we bomb them. Western apathy, see fucking often. We can see cause we watch them on the television, strapped with the blinder. Deaf to the pride that they set the reminders. Like detonators to a martyr's chest. Sons be dying now, their mothers dead. Puzzling over this phenomenon. Strapping on the ball, mother sitting on the wall. Path to gore, full blind hatred. How the hell would you expect them to take it? 90 years of imperial aggression. Proper person, learn the first lesson of violence. Yeah, it's far worse tested on what you're going to do. And the next thing you know, peace get the ethnic plans. By a fascist state that defends the principles that gave it the ends and the means to oppress the Palestinians. What the fuck did we learn from Hitler? Set the tactics to burn books quicker. How to silence the tongues of the offended. Gotta deliver the fuller picture. Gotta look forward to a future that's richer. Vote for peace, not for hate, sister. For the Zionists defeated and their false scripture. But life is of the most profound beauty when we express our love. Life is of most profound beauty when we express our love. Yeah, life is of the most profound beauty when we express our love. Life is of most profound beauty when we express our love for freedom. But that's just through that freedom section into the end. It's just when we express our love. Life's of the most profound beauty. Sometimes you have to express non-love. That's why I can. This is for the whistleblowers out there. It's called Whistleblower. Let the stream back, read them here to stick them inside. Whenever we agitate and aggravate, whenever we run. Daddy power, monger, our comedy day. That corrupt, we're gonna duck for duck, duck what we say. Let the stream back, read them here to stick them in time. Whenever we agitate and aggravate, whenever we run. Daddy power, monger, our gonna come any day. That corrupt, we're gonna duck for duck, duck what we say. Blow the whistle, blow the whistle. Show the hip and it's show the won't get diddle. Blow the whistle, blow the rhythm. Show the hip and show you won't get diddle. Now we bogey whistleblower, ninja the missile thrower. Project is in the devil beneath, underneath the mistletoe. Chisel flower, giving respect to the whistleblower. Fiddle below you, squealing off, go back the shit I'll show ya. Whistleblower, the missile thrower. Project is in the devil beneath, underneath the mistletoe. Chisel flower, giving respect to the whistleblower. Fiddle below you, squealing off, go back the shit I'll when you hit track with them, hit them, stick them in time. No, we agitate and aggravate whenever we want. Daddy power, monger, hour, gonna come any day. Duck corrupt, gonna duck and buck what we say. Don't let the stream back with them, hit them, stick them in time. You know we agitate, aggravate whenever we run. Daddy power, monger, hour, gonna come any day. And duck corrupt, gonna duck and buck what we say. Blow the whistle, blow the riddle. Show the hip and show you won't get diddle. Blow the whistle, blow the riddle. Show the hip and show you won't get diddle. Blow the whistle, blow the riddle. Show the hip and show you won't get diddle. Blow the whistle, blow the riddle. Show the hip and show you won't get diddle. I'll be bogey whistleblower, ninja the mistletoe. The chuck is in the devil beneath, underneath the mistletoe. Chisel flower, giving respect to the whistleblower. Pit over below you, spilling off the back, the shit on shake. Bogey whistleblower, get to the knees of blower. The chuck is in the devil beneath, underneath the mistletoe. Chisel flower, giving respect to the whistleblower. Pit over below you, spilling off the back, the shit on shake. Strip back with him, hit, sick him in time. And know we agitate and aggravate whenever we rhyme. Daddy power, monger, hour, gonna come any day. They're corrupt, we're gonna duck for buck what we say. Blow the whistle! So I think we're, yeah, I'll go, is that it? My 3 songs? Oh yeah, definitely got one more. We'll turn the reverb down a bit. This one's called Inner Sense. The word innocence, it's a very powerful word, but this is inner, as in the inside, sense, C-E-N-T-Z. Sense is a unit of measurement. It's a tuning of the guitar. It's tuned in sense, tiny measurements, and this is innocence. It's a moral compass that I believe that the message of the bride and the sons and all the whistleblowers brings us back to recognize we can't have innocence without sense. I'm going to verse this on. Take from your brother what you can give back to your sister. It's the material keeps us small. Please try and see outside your head for just 1 second. Each day inside an overstanding room within your mind and heart. We owe the pain and suffering. When my brother sings, it soothes me. So we sing our songs for them. We owe the pain and suffering. When my brother sings, it soothes me. So we sing our song for them. Wisdom is pain, lives in my vein. Visions of shame, all in our name. As we got to innocence lost, but at the cost of my ignorance. Innocence killed, how I have wept, and what I have found. The pain suffering, when my brother sings, soothes me. So we sing our songs for them. We must communicate, pray and demonstrate to them that way the God I take no more. None of them are control. We owe the pain and suffering, when my brother sings, it soothes me. So we sing our songs for them. We owe the pain and suffering, when my brother sings, it soothes me. So we sing our songs for them. Wisdom is pain, lives in our vein. To be human, innocent shame, all in our name. Let's make a consume innocence lost, but at the cost of my ignorance. Innocence given, now I have wept, and what I have found. Innocence kept.
Give a big round of applause. We've got two special guests coming up now to play for you. Tylee, that's a father and daughter duet. Just as you probably all know, this court case tomorrow, the Attorney General, Mr. Dreyfus, has drafted legislation to protect whistleblowers from the PID Act 2013, but the Act is a complete failure. So one of the things we're campaigning about at the moment is to get him to fix the bloody legislation so the whistleblowers are protected and don't have to go through this drama that David's going through right now and this whole kangaroo court case that starts tomorrow. If they had any balls, they just dismiss this case before it even starts. That's what they should do. But we need to stay there, we need to be there with David, and we need to be watching. Be careful about your fines. If they want your fine before you go into court, give it to a friend. Don't leave it at the court entrance. Because we know what happens when Mr. Hugh Pollock was, in his case, a coronial inquest into the death of his son in Afghanistan. They handed their phones in for a closed court session, and he went out to relieve himself halfway through, and the spooks were out on the couches, plugging their phones into devices to protect them. So that's what they're up against here. There's corruption, collusion, and cover-ups. And unfortunately, David's going through the same thing. Now we have Jeff Morris and Troy Stoltz behind. They're going to say a few words a bit later on. We get our two musos up here now. Another introduction here from Eddie. Thank you.
Okay, well, this is the highlight of the day for me. This not mum and dad duo, sorry, dad and daughter duo called Tylee, come all the way from Bunjalung country, up near Mullumbimby, Lismore area. And they have written, they're beautiful singers, and they've written a special song they're going to launch today for the first time for David McBride. So you'll need to come over and have a listen. Now, I'm going to hand over to Rosie and to take it away, and I'll come back on to introduce the next guest, which will be Troy and Jeff and David McBride himself. So stick around.
Take the second pack from there. Oh, Maddie, you're doing a good job up there. Huh? Oh, Maddie, you're doing a good job up there.
I'm begging you.
So, one after the second come on, guys.
I thought that was Paul's live stream he's running.
Hopefully the wind is kind.
You know,
I should go and give this camera to him. He can tan them both at once.
we made a screen record.
Which one, this one?
Sorry? I don't know.
What's going on? Yep. Right. Well, we feel very honoured to be here. We came all the way from, as Eddie said, Bunjalung country, up there way. Why wouldn't you be here?
Look how happy he is. No, I was going to give this one to you. Is that Paul's live stream? Good morning, Canberra Protest 2022.
Say that again.
Good afternoon, Canberra Protest 2022.
And this is
Camera wall.
28. Hashtag is supposed to 28. Live stream.
Yeah, just go and put that one over there in front of the stage as well.
You want to put them both over there?
Yeah, you put them both over there.
Alright. Let's take our live streams for a walk.
It's a love activist song.
Yes. So it's actually the song that created.
Alright.
It was the beginning
Well,
of what we are.
I'm not
now,
looking
which
after
is
you.
Tylee.
So
The Welsh word for family.
you're gonna have to look after.
Right. I was one of those kids that was like,
There you are. You're gonna have to look after each other.
And years later, someone
You'll
said,
zoomed
"Don't you
in.
remember that song? You used to play it all the time." And it's called Love Vibration, and we sort of
Revamped it.
Revamped, thank you. As we revamped it,
And it's
changed up a
really
few
relevant
things.
for today because without love we have nothing. And it's love of all of us for the likes of Dave and Julian and every other truth teller on the planet.
Truth teller.
It's our love for what they're doing that's going to hopefully get them where they should be, which is free to speak. So this is Love Vibration. I'll do a little check on the guitar, see what the volume.
Just triple check it.
Okay, we'll give it a go.
See how we go.
It's called Love Vibration. I woke up this morning, got out of my comfortable bed. The sun was rising slowly, turning the pale blue sky red. I said to myself, oh, I'm a fortunate soul, yes I am. Heart is blowing and my love keeps growing, and I know I am blessed.
That's it.
I am blessed.
Enjoy.
So much sadness in the world today. Only one thing can take it away. Love is the answer to everything. Makes everybody happy, makes everybody sing. Oh yeah. Everybody sing.
We just want to sing.
It's not that complicated. We can instigate it. We can all create it in a love vibration. It's give and receive. Don't feed the greed. You know we need a love vibration. Kazoo song. Oh yeah. I am blessed. I am blessed. We all need community. Oh yeah. To make a better world for you and me. Spread a little kindness, leave the past behind us. Let the love set us free. Let the love set us free. It's not that complicated. We can instigate it. We can all create it in a love vibration. Give and receive. Don't feed the greed. You know we need a love vibration. Spread a little kindness. Leave the past behind us. You know it'll find us a love vibration.
Wow. Thank you. I actually love when things go a little bit wrong.
Keeps you humble.
Well, it's that. But this is what this is. It's people making it up. Like people coming together, bringing what they have, coming as far as they can to show up. And that same goes for our sound and every artist.
Everything's perfect. Perfect
Perfectly
universe.
imperfect.
I'm going to let my daughter introduce this because being her #1 fan, I think she's an amazing songwriter. you know, at her age to be singing about deep things, not vacuous, simplistic things.
Well,
Very special.
thank you, Dad. So this next one is one of my originals. It's called One Step, and I did write it at a time when I found myself in a bit of a dip. And it wasn't my first dip. I had that kind of moment of, I've done this, like I've been through this before. It's one, like get around this little hurdle and just one foot after the other, basically.
I think it's
one day at a time.
Relevant for anyone who's going through shit.
Yeah. So,
One step after the other.
One Step. Hope you like it.
One foot after the other, you've done this before. You fall down and get back up again, that's what we're here for. I will not stay down this time, I'm ready to begin. This time I will win the fight, it's time to live again. One foot after the other, you know how it goes. To open up the new door, you gotta let one close. And I don't wanna live my life locked up in my mind. So it's time to find inner peace and treat my spirit kind.
Time to reach deep within. Time to do what I believe in. Time to let it begin. Time to do the things that make my heart sing.
One foot after the other, on and on I go. And when I face the fears that had me down for years, I know I will grow. Like a flower in the spring, I will be blooming. Try my best to keep the darkness away.
Time to reach deep within. Time to do what I believe in. Time to let it begin. Time to do the things that make my heart sing.
One foot after the other, on and on we go. So when we face the fears that had us bound for years, I know we will grow. Just like flowers in the spring, we will be blooming. Try our best to keep the darkness away.
Time to reach deep within. Time to do what we believe in. Time to let it begin. Time to do the things that make our hearts sing. Thank you so much.
What a song. That's a beautiful song, girl.
Thank you, thank you.
Amazing. And I'm pretty humbled to be here today because in Lismore a few weeks ago, not only did I meet Dave for the first time, but also Julian's dad, John, and totally blown away that he loved a song that I penned for Julian in support of Julian after, you know, the frustration that so many of us feel speaking to, I hate to get demographic, but the average Joe about these sorts of things, and they go, oh, I think I've heard of that Julian guy, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Is that the guy in, did he do something over there? And so I just got pissed off, excuse the language, and I wrote a song, Collateral Murder, which I thought would be appropriate because it highlights the moment probably that he got in the hot water with the Yanks and the Brits.
What I sorry to jump in,
No.
love about this song, and I think we're having a bit of a compliment off here, because I also think Dad is an incredible writer, and
Thank you, Dad.
the thing I really love about this song is that it captures the story, because that is often the conversation is, who? Oh yeah, I think I've heard of him. But it really captures
The truth.
The truth, what happened, what's going on. So
Let's call collateral murder. This is the story about a journalist, Julian Assange, who told the truth. Because he found the evidence. Oh yeah, and he had the proof of collateral murder committed by the US in Iraq. And the images were brutal. Oh, the images were stark. There's an Apache chopper. It's hovering in the sky over downtown Baghdad. 16 civilians are about to die. For little did they know what was about to go down, because they were just standing around talking. Oh yeah, like we're doing with downtown. They were just standing around talking, like we're doing with downtown. Then the guns started firing, taking them out one by one. You can hear the soldiers laughing and joking as they watch them run. There were two Iraqi journalists reporting for Reuters at the scene. And they were both carrying their cameras, not guns, you can easily see it on the screen. But the soldiers said they were hanging weapons that looked like insurgents, but you can't see that on the screen. And the soldiers kept on firing. Seemed like they were having fun. And they just kept on shooting. They were trying to kill everyone. Yes, they kept on shooting. They were trying to kill everyone. Then a man came up in a van with his two small children by his side. He hadn't done anything wrong, no. He had no reason to run and hide. He was only trying to help the wounded. But the soldiers sound like they're playing a game. They opened fire on the children and the man, and the bullets keep falling like rain. One said you shouldn't bring your kids to a war, and they laughed with no conscience or shame.
the things they don't want us to see. All these are the images you won't see on TV.
Don't keep quiet.
Oh,
if you dare to speak, then you'll end up like that good man named Julian Assange from WikiLeaks. Thrown into prison, falsely charged with espionage. While the real war criminals, oh well, they're still at large. Oh yeah, the real war criminals. Oh, but they're still at large. Because those criminals started a war. Those civilians didn't ask for. Because those criminals started a war for the oil and the spoils. Those civilians didn't ask for. Because those criminals started a war for the oil and the spoils that they should be tried for. So if you value your freedom, Oh yeah, your freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Then you better be like that good man named Julian Assange. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks.
And stand up for justice. And your human rights.
Human rights.
By exposing the lies and the greed and the crimes that are hidden from our sight. By exposing the lies and the greed and the crimes that are hidden from our sight.
These are the things they don't want us to see. These are the images we won't see on TV.
Because those criminals started a war. Those civilians didn't ask for it. Because those criminals started a war for the oil and the spoils those civilians didn't ask for. Because those criminals started a war for the oil and the spoils that they should be tried for. Because those criminals started a war. Free Julian!
Free Julian! Now, while Dad introduces this next song, I'm going to hand out some whistles. Because this is for our whistleblowers. And if you'd like to come forward and grab one, feel free, because there's going to be a specific line in Dad's next wonderful song. And when he says...
Well, I'm a bit nervous because Dave's here and I wrote the song for him and hopefully it's going to resonate. And again, in support of David and his plight, which hopefully will culminate in his freedom to be free and to be free to speak whatever you want in this country, which should be our God-given right. So while my daughter hands out the whistles, I've never seen so many whistles in all my life. We've got about 100 whistleblowers here. Who wants to be a whistleblower? That's a good whistle. We get a few of them and we'll go. And we've got all the way from Lismore. We've got the lovely lady who. It is the. That is the mother of all whistles. There's only one of them. Shrunken. At the front, yeah. Okay, if everybody wants to, this is a group participation song. So everybody come to the front, into the front area, if they want to, the front area. I know it's sunny, I know it's hot, but if we can all, we're going to get a bit of footage of this with everybody blowing their whistle. So anybody that wants to come up towards the front of the stage, you're welcome to come up and blow the whistle.
Canberra protest 2022, you got your own whistle. Congratulations.
And tomorrow at 8 AM we're all going to be at the court to blow these whistles so that it goes all the way to Parliament House, and hopefully Albo will shake in his boots.
Suppose the 28?
It wouldn't be hard, is it?
You've got your own whistle too.
So
Congratulations.
But anyway, so tomorrow morning,
you're participating
anyone wants
too.
To come and support Dave,
reluctantly
blow the whistle. And again, I feel honoured to be here, Dave, and to play this song because I was that moved when I met you. I've been following it all, but felt like I didn't do anything. I can't do everything. I'm just a muso, but I wrote a song and I hope you like it. Not just a well, that's the biggest compliment I've ever had because I love Bob. So, and this song is titled David McBride Blew the Whistle.
And I only just finished the bloody thing, so I'm going to get my daughter to hold the lyrics up just in case I forget because I'm
Where
nervous.
are they right now?
Just move yours a bit.
Okay, and this is
just for
my
lighting.
interpretation of what I heard David's full story and how what an honourable man he is, and how much he loved the army, and how much he wanted to be a military man.
Give us a sec.
Yeah, that was the reason for the song. So here we go. It's called David. David McBride was filled with pride when he joined the Australian Army. It was a dream realised for David McBride to be serving his country. And some years before, he studied the law in Sydney and at Oxford University. But he knew from the start, deep in his heart, he was destined to be in the military. So he joined the British Army and gave his best for 6 years. Then he rose to the ranks of a major, a position deserved for the way that he served, with exemplary behaviour. I'm getting there, I only just finished it. Anyone still going? But his home was Australia, and he finally returned, and he worked in the law as a barrister. But he felt unfulfilled, and in his heart still, he was longing to be a soldier. And David McBride was filled with pride to be a lawyer in the Australian Army. And David McBride swore an oath to abide by the morals and laws of his country. So he had to make a stand when in Afghanistan he discovered some soldiers were killing women and children, innocent civilians, and the accounts were disturbing and chilling. And as the evidence grew of the sins of a few, well, he knew that he must do his duty, to be honest and true, and report what he knew. So he informed his superiors diligently, but his concerns and his fears just fell on deaf ears. They didn't want to hear the guts and the gristle. But as a man of the law and what he stood for, you ready? Well, he knew that he must blow the whistle. There's another verse, there's another verse. This is the best verse of the whole lot, I reckon. The whistle of honesty, truth and morality. You ready again? He knew that he must blow the whistle. There's one more verse. This is the one. You ready? Now our government so vile have put him on trial for revealing hard truths to his nation. But the truth cannot die in the face of their lies, and the truth will be his vindication. And David McBride had the truth on his side. You ready? The day that he blew the whistle. Let's all do this tomorrow at the court for Dave. Thank you, Dave. It's an honour.
while everyone's here and we've got three of our legend whistleblowers on the stage at the one time, how about we all join them on the stage for a photo with our whistles and the whistle, three whistleblowers at the front. And yeah, the other thing is we've got, this is probably what, 30 or 40 people, maybe 20 whistling. We've got 240 tomorrow, so whistles, so bring your whistles along tomorrow, and if you don't, well, that's not good. It's 8 o'clock, there's no excuse, okay? So let's get on the stage and let's get this photo done. And then we're going to have Dro Smith do some amazing spoken word. He's from Bundalang country too, as many of us here are. Great to see Bundalang represent here. Everyone from Whistleblowers. And on the stage we're going to
Who the fuck said that? Oh, rip me. Hey, go on, Rip.
with your whistle!
Okay, everyone can go and sit in the shade now. Thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. We've got the legend Dro Smith coming up now to do some spoken word, and then we've got a little bit more music. So get your phones out, take some photos, tweet and social media out today.
I think my ears are dead.
The first Woodstock Whistleblower WikiLeaks Festival. Let's hope we have more. Dro Smith to the front of the stage.
All right. I think they're really loving the whistles.
Bring your whistle to court and your earplugs.
Sorry, after Dro obviously is the headline act today, these three whistleblowers, so do not go anywhere.
What's the battery on that thing? Another battery?
Yeah, 54%.
I'll go and get a battery shortly.
Alright, hope everyone's doing good.
Hello. Hi.
There you go.
Is anyone else sick of the government doing this? Just casually hiding behind policy, like it's all right to just treat certain Australians in a certain way and leave them in worse than exile in a really shitty situation on the other side of the world who've done nothing to cause anyone really any harm whatsoever. Australians have been held for no reason from having to do no harm whatsoever. Sounds very un-Australian.
Banana Kush?
Let's let the Prime Minister try and deal with it, please, because it's the only way. We can't do anything. But maybe he can. Maybe he can talk to some people. Or I was thinking, what if we got John Shipton to be the next Australian
president, no, prime minister, and John Shipton could have a chat to that other guy, the other old guy, Biden. They could get along great. They could talk about their dangerous sons and what they've done wrong and all that. It's only my son, like maybe we should give him a break. Because Biden seems to understand what it is to give your son a break. Anyway, I want to talk about these too much. I'm just here to do some poetry. I'll just gather myself. I got a fine in the mail. Told me I didn't vote. Oops, it must have slipped my mind. Makes me think, without my vote, am I guilty of these warmongering times? Why should I vote? It seems not to change a thing. If we were voting on issues rather than our current king, I'd be interested in what's happening. Might be inclined to hand a vote in. While the system's how it is, send me another fine. I'll pay again, smiling all intense before I'll queue to vote in line. I'd like Australia to show some backbone instead of kissing bums, step out from skirts of puppets and queens, be proud of who we've become, stand for peace, do what's right, helping all people however we can. That's how we live safe and free. Who needs wastage on defence? As long as we keep our lips on arse, we'll never know our strength. It's time for a shower. Time to clean things up and wipe away some old world stench. It's kind of sad I don't care to vote since my family paid with blood. What they fought for was just and strong. Where's our Geneva Convention? Gone? All these elections, all the fuss, all the rights and all that's left, all the war, all the politicians, all their corporate debt, all the money going down, all the drains and all these goings on. How about my right to abstain? What about that song that said, advance Australia fair? I'm not talking about the White Australia policy, but it's obviously happening here. This is proof. Look at where we are. Look at this lovely bit of plastic Australia called Canberra. Geez, it's an honour to be here. Nothing like a fake city made for... Anyway, we don't want to speak on it too much. We are within gun range of a couple of hotel rooms. You never know what could go on in the modern world. Lost in calamity, grip tight to sanity, I flutter and kick amongst a world of sick. No seeing answers for questions, thinking little, no suggestions, no time, busy drinking, no time, busy thinking. Favourite place of mine is called Yachtsman's Paradise, where I read on the jetty sign, no swimming, no fishing, no diving, basically don't have a good time. But it's paradise, it says it on the sign. It's paradise, it says it all the time. What's it going to take for the world to switch off and maybe turn on a light bulb before all hope's lost? Because a life raft without wisdom won't last very long. Let's all get to safety. We can all eat and sing songs. I'm calling you bluff, I'm calling you out. Enough with the lies and the bullshitting doubt. What to do to fix the shit we are in? How do we change it? And when can we sing? I see lies of officials in compounding times when lies of officials cost young men their lives. And what of our decisions? What do? We keep sending young men and women to die for the greedy few. Now, on their return with brain roasted or fried, what about the chemicals that war left inside? The lucky come home to where they were true, back to their family who might get sick from war too. How about the drama of guilt-ridden kills? Killing women and children must leave a chill up down the spine whenever you see a similar-shaped body or the smell of a gun. How about the tragedy left on the sons when Dad came home broken with his head all fucked up? What now for the kid whose dad beats the cup? Because alcohol hides scars, they're hidden deep down, rarely ever seen smiles like clowns. Because what can a man say for worse things he has done? What if a man has killed many mothers' sons? How does he look his mum in the eye, knowing the trauma he caused in another man's life, or death as it may be, which was more likely death for the mainstreaming logs? The count's never wrong in the strip and the cogs. We know exactly how many were killed, give or take a few mil. We know exactly how many were killed, give or take a few mil. What's it matter? They lose. The victors rewrite history, that's the way of the world. They rewrite themselves nice like good boys and girls. And what now for the wives left behind to make cleaner? What for the lives of a war widow dreamer? Why did she commit to a suicidal man? What was she thinking? Was that the plan? Now, how shall I involve myself in this life when war sends home broken husband to his protected wife? She's in for a fright! Because war rips the soul from a man more than prison. Given his animal outlets, paid reason to have risen, the beast then released, now put back in the cage with battered war-torn visions and nightmares of rage! How to become a loving man again. A loving man wouldn't go to war, he'd prefer to make friends and find out how to help his brother in need instead of shooting first later as too often we're seen. And am I really defending my home from overseas? Am I really defending my home from overseas? Or am I making money for assholes already with lots? And what is the burden? And who counts the costs on the minds of them that return from war and the damage passed on as corporate whores? Now, how does this help us, knowing too much? How do we help them to not damage us? It's a favourite place of mine. It's called Jotman's Paradise, where I read on the jetty sign, no swimming, no fishing, no diving. Don't have a good time. But it's paradise. It says it on the sign. Wonder what they got in mind. What's it going to take for the world to switch off and maybe turn on a light bulb before all hope's lost? Because a life raft without wisdom won't last very long. Let's all get to safety. We can all eat and sing songs. Calling you bluff, calling you out. Enough with the lies and the bullshitting doubt. What to do to fix the shit we're in? How do we change it? And when can we sing? When? What? You got to ask for when you can. Yeah, when can we sing?
Thank you, Dro, and good luck with the 5th and 6th baby that are going to pop out soon. And let's hope that you produce some more activists like yourself. Okay, next up we have got legend Troy Stoltz. He was a compliance officer, the cop for Clubs New South Wales. But when he went to complain, he got bullied out. He is one of Australia's prominent whistleblowers. He's been supporting David McBride alongside Jeff Morris since day dot. Despite the gaslighting, despite even fighting stage 4 cancer, despite them suing him and he then sued them for defamation, they folded and settled eventually. And here he is today to tell his story. And after that, we're going to have Jeff Morris, and I'll introduce him after Troy. Come on up, Troy.
Troy, there he is! Blow your whistle! He's responding! Time's up. Up this one.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Troy Stoltz. Thank you all for coming today. It is so important that we get behind David and push this as hard as we can. I blew the whistle on the money laundering in the gambling industry in New South Wales. I spent 3.5 years entrenched in pretty rigorous court battles. Government weren't interested in any of the money laundering that was taking place in New South Wales or any of the social impacts those with gambling addiction were experiencing. So Yeah, it is so important that we just keep pushing, take our small wins, and I can't believe we're here today. This is just absolutely outrageous and a national disgrace as well. These politicians, shame on the Liberal government for starting this prosecution against David, and shame on the piss-weak Albanese government, who hopefully will only be one term.
Yes.
This is an absolute disgrace. It's un-Australian for jailing, trying to send a man to jail who did his job. And not only doing his job was also making sure that the country and the Defence Force, the very ones prosecuting him, were covered by the actions which can result in international policy issues, international breach of UN conventions. I mean, we go on, but what we're seeing now more and more, there's Richard Boyle to come, is just how corrupt the Liberal and Labor Party are in this country, both at state levels and at national levels. This is outrageous. So yeah, let's get behind David and send a message, and let's start, taking on Liberal and Labor, the duopoly. They're only interested in themselves and looking after themselves. Otherwise, there's no reason Albanese and Mark Dreyfus couldn't have dropped this prosecution, which is, where is it going to take us? I mean, David's been cleared by the Brereton inquiry, sending a man to jail for doing his job to cover up and protect your incompetent mates in the hierarchy of the Australian Defence Force and the public servants' careers is just a disgrace, and how out of touch we are in this country. Sorry? Governor General, it goes all the way to the top. How could you imagine being in your normal job or running a business and claiming you at the top don't know what's going on? It's just a rort. And thanks to those independents and the Greens that have stood up and taken the government on in Parliament with very much needed debate, only to be voted down recently, where the ALP and the Liberal Party voted in a block to have the motion put down by Andrew Wilkie on dropping the charges against David McBride. What an absolute disgrace. Let's hope we remember this. Let's send a clear message today, tomorrow, that we're not going to cop this anymore, and let's make Albo a one-termer to demonstrate what we think of him and his government. And let's give Whistleblowers something to a win to keep pushing, because the government want us to be silent. They don't want to hear from whistleblowers. They don't want their rorts and backdoor deals jeopardised. So let's keep the pressure up on, and thank you everyone that's come here today and supported David. Thank you.
Okay, so next up we have got Jeff Morris, and he blew the lid on the dirty practices of the biggest corporation, the Commonwealth Bank at the time. And he was a financial planner there, also with an economics and law degree, very well experienced, could see people weren't given independent and frank advice. And his fight went for 9 years. 9 long years, and it's people like him that we've got to pay tribute to, and Troy, and now David, who's in that cycle of abuse with the government and the executive and the vested interests that take our democratic voice away. So we really need to, every single one of you has got a bigger reach than just yourself with your social medias. We need to jump on the fifth estate, and we need to take control and get our voice back, and we all need to call the government and the executive to account and restore the balance to our separation of powers. Because if we don't, we're going to lose everything, and we will be in an autocratic regime. And I know that sounds crazy, and if someone said that to me 5 years ago, I would have thought they needed to be an institution, but I've woken up, as all of you, and that's exactly what's going on. And if you're not frightened, you're not informed. So make sure you tell everyone about what's going on here today. And tonight, just post away everyone to get down to Supreme Court at 8 AM. There is nothing more important than our right to free speech. So Jeff Morris, 9 years. He blew dirt on the blew the Commonwealth Bank's dirt up. And then they set up their own dirt department to get him and defamed him and, you know, passed slurs on his character and tried to tear him down. And he stood up to it. He stood up to it for 9 long years and he won. So he's a very inspiring person, as is Troy. And we hope that their energy can get David through this awful trial that he has to face. Come on up, Jeff, and then we're going to have Mr. Major McBride himself.
Hello, everybody. I've actually known David for a few years now. I've had that privilege, and what an incredible man he is. What courage, what integrity. To do what he's done is just extraordinary. And I have to say that since becoming a whistleblower, it's been my privilege to meet many whistleblowers, and like Troy, who's here today supporting David. And what we've found is we have a lot of things in common. The circumstances might be different, but there's a common theme of an individual standing up against a corrupt organisation. Now, in my case, it was the banks. In Troy's case, it was Clubs New South Wales and the poker machines. In David's case, it's a big one, it's the federal government. But the thing that occurred to me years ago is it's all connected. The federal government ran cover for the banks. It ran a protection racket. It held off a Royal Commission for as long as it could. Clubs New South Wales, before every state election, would have both sides of politics, because of course there is only 2 sides to politics. There's only 2 major corruption parties in our system. It had them sign a memorandum of understanding on what they would do, what they would deliver for Clubs New South Wales if they won the election. They were dictating the terms. Now, the same thing happens in terms of international relations with, for example, the United States, and within the Canberra bureaucracy. They do favours for powerful corporates and they cover their own tracks. Now, I don't know what's wrong with people, that there aren't more people protesting about this, because to me, the Robodebt Royal Commission blew it open beyond any doubt. You have corrupt federal bureaucrats lying, cheating, stealing, driving people to suicide. I'm yet to see one of those scumbags charged and sent to jail. Estimated 2,000 suicides from that. Now, the same federal bureaucracy is prosecuting David McBride. Part of that bureaucracy is a hierarchy of generals. Remember, an army is a hierarchy. It's based upon command. It's based upon command responsibility. But in terms of war crimes, they would have us believe, and Major General Brereton's report would have us believe, that the generals knew absolutely nothing about the war crimes. Now, I can tell you something, it's an inside secret. Every whistleblower knows this. The cover-up is always bigger than the crime. Now, it beggars belief. It stretches credulity to breaking point for these generals who were running around awarding each other distinguished service medals for distinguished on active service. Running around giving each other medals, and yet when they're asked about the war crimes, it's, oh, I didn't know anything about that. Now, that is simply impossible in an organisation with the army, which is structured on a command relationship. So there was a cover-up. And that's why it not only took David McBride, a major, to blow open the story about the war crimes, but it's why it took several years. These war crimes were going on for many years. They were covered up. Now, when David did that, of course, he's threatening a very powerful institution. Corruption is rife throughout the federal government. I mean, we've got Richard Boyle to thank for that. He's shown how the tax office went about their job in Adelaide. They were doing pretty much the same thing as the robo-debt bureaucrats were doing here in Canberra. But the generals and the bureaucrats are the ones who are threatened by David McBride's disclosures. At all costs, they don't want the truth to come out. Now, there were Liberal and Labor governments in power when these war crimes were covered up, which is why I would think it's reasonable to infer Liberal and Labor combined to defeat the motion by, as it so happens, another whistleblower, Andrew Wilkie, to drop the prosecutions against McBride and Boyle. And this is out in the open. They're not even bothering to hide it. It's so blatant. It seems to me that they have so much contempt for the Australian people that they just expect us to swallow this nonsense. But they've made a big mistake. They've gone to war with a whistleblower. Well, they've gone to war with two whistleblowers. And in fact, when you do that, the way we feel, because we've all been through this, you go to war with all of us. And we fight however long we have to. We don't give up. So 9 years, whatever it takes, we will go on. And I guess my message to Albo is, and this is particularly pertinent given the, the fact that we seem to be along for the ride with the US, compensating for the fact that they were late for World Wars I and II by trying to be really punctual this time. I think it is appropriate advice to give to Albo at this point, but the fact is, any fool can start a war, and he started a war. But let's see how it ends. Let's see how this ends, because it can't end well. In the end, the truth will come out. In the end, the cover-up will fall apart. People talk. When a whistleblower is persecuted like this, more people will come out and feel compelled to tell the truth. So I say it may be a long fight. I don't know how long it'll be, but I know what the outcome will be. And in the end, David McBride's already been vindicated, even by the Brereton report. I mean, the war crimes were committed. And even at this stage, if I were one of the jurors sitting in that court, I would wonder what the hell I was doing there. Why on earth is this man on trial for exposing what none of the generals had the guts or the decency to do? Why is he being put on trial, threatened with imprisonment? So, anyway, you only need a couple of those jurors. I think you might get more than a couple. I mean, if I was on that jury, I would find it very hard to understand how you could find a man guilty of a criminal offence for actually doing his duty, not just according to what superior officers in the army were telling him, but responding to a higher calling, a higher morality, doing what was right. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to be asking a jury to convict a man for doing what was right. Thank you.
Okay, so next up is, probably needs no introduction, but I'm going to anyway, because he's a bit humble and won't say all the nice things that I will. It's going to be Major David McBride coming up next. He's in the fight of his life right now, day one of the trial tomorrow. So please just set your alarm. I know I'm not an early morning person, but I'll be down there at 8 o'clock and I hope to see all of you down there with your whistles so we can send a strong message because David is facing a very, very unjust situation at the moment he has been let down by our government. So there's three arms to our government. There's the Parliament, they make the laws. Then there's the executive, they administer and implement the laws. That's the ADF and the AFP. And then there's the judiciary. So he made a complaint to the AFP, to the ADF, they gaslit him down. He made a complaint to the AFP, they didn't want to know. He tried to get public immunity defence, and the government came in and said, no, we're going to not let anyone hear any of the content that is the basis for that. So they let him down there. So now he faces a trial. And I hope that we still believe in the doctrine of separation of powers and that the judiciary are going to do the right thing. But this is not an even fight. And if it was about right and wrong, well, David would win without a doubt. But we're in a very crazy world and we don't know what the jury are actually going to get called because there's going to be claims over a lot of evidence. So they might not be told much, and that's what's so scary about this trial. So David can tell you his story and how he got here, but I guess what the government seem to be claiming a lot of the time is that there's all this classified information. That's why parts of the trial might have to be secret and jury members won't hear it. And some of that classified information would be the location of the toilets at Glebe Park. But the government can just say whatever they want is classified. And that's what we need to start questioning as well. Because I call bullshit on the classified information. I call bullshit on that. And I think they're just covering it up because they're embarrassed, because what David did was expose the systemic cultural issues within the ADF. And when he exposed them, he exposed the rot at the top. And they didn't want that. So they sent it all off to an inquiry, the Brereton inquiry, that picked some low-hanging fruit, and none of those higher up have been responsible. And that is what they're trying to protect in David's trial. And that's why it's so important that we go there, we sit in the court, we bear witness to this injustice, and we say no. And we bring our whistles, and we don't whistle them in court, but we go outside and we blow our whistles for David McGride, and we stand by him every day of this trial, whether you're here or on social media. Come on up, David and little David.
Here we go. How's that? I brought little David. Always a good laugh. My alter ego. Reminds me of Lismore. And I'll put him down. I've got some serious things to say. The first thing I always want to start with is to thank everybody for coming here. And not just today, of course. There are many, many people. Well, in fact, it's hard to imagine too many of you here haven't been to one after another after another. You turn out. People have come down from Lismore, come up from Melbourne. You know, it's an expensive trip at a time when people don't necessarily have that much money. I appreciate it. It is a serious business, being a whistleblower. I don't regret it. I don't need any sympathy. We're here for justice. I was made for tomorrow. All my experience has brought me. If anybody has to do what somebody has to do tomorrow, it is me. One of the things that I saw last week is the beginnings of what will probably happen
sort of mainstream ignoring of what's going on, and a certain amount of sort of underhand smear campaign. I'm not the right kind of whistleblower. Oh, I had personal problems, or you know, somehow try to put, I'm just doing it for my own benefit. Do you reckon I'm doing it for my own benefit? No. Yeah, exactly. But you will get people saying things like that. And if people want to question me, say, read the book. Read his book. We know the projectiles go in a consistent pattern. Now, I only ever wanted to join the army, even though my parents were doctors. My father was a whistleblower, and in relation to the drug thalidomide, and he was obviously quite a brave guy, and he had many, many thousands of patients whose children he delivered. He came undone later in his life over some experiments in rabbits, and he made the mistake of not admitting what he'd gone wrong. But he was a good person. My mother was a doctor. I went to the right schools. I didn't have problems at school. I went to Sydney University. I graduated in law. I didn't set the world on fire, but I graduated. I went to Oxford University, not because I was so smart, but because I did a bit of horse trading. But again, I finished. I was a boxing champion there. I went to the British military. I was accepted into one of the most prestigious regiments. I tried to join the British SAS. I was a true believer in democracy and those who defend democracy with force. I came back to Australia and I joined the Australian Army eventually after being a barrister. And you have to pass quite a few behavioural tests to become a barrister. You have to really be above board in everything you do. And you can't be bankrupt. They used to, I don't think you could even be divorced at one stage. It was a very oldie sort of profession. So I was a barrister before I joined the Australian Army. I went in as a captain and I got promoted to major. I got sent to the biggest base in Australia, Townsville, which was a job for someone on the way up. I did a tour in Afghanistan and got excellent reports. And I did a tour of Afghanistan with the Special Forces and I got excellent reports. Now, looking at the trajectory of my life, is it really likely that I'm the bad guy and the government is the good guy? No, it's pathetic, isn't it? It's absolutely pathetic. And you know what? My trump card is that I will go to prison with my head held up high. And even if I have to do 10 years, does anybody here doubt that I will be able to do that with dignity and strength of character? If you compare me and the way I've handled myself to people like General David Hurley, who wouldn't even give evidence to the secret ministry's inquiry, spoke only through his lawyers, signed off on Morrison's secret ministries, got special treatment for his favoured charity. Big question marks over that man sitting in a palace while I get ready to go to prison. Now my haters say, oh, he's not a war crimes whistleblower. No, I'm a command whistleblower. Does anybody here have problems with that? Does anybody here think that's bad and you don't like me because I actually say the problem is with the generals, not the corporals and privates? I don't think so. You people know that it's not going to make this country better if we put a private soldier in jail and say, oh, there we go, we'll fix that problem. The problem is endemic. The problem is systemic. The problem is with lies in every single part of this government. Robo-debt wasn't a coincidence. We saw how government lawyers act. They lie. They lie when the truth would do. And they got caught out in robo-debt. But don't think, well, you people know, but this is for the people who are going to see this on video. Robo-debt is how government departments run. They think up some tawdry political stunt that is going to get them promoted, and they put it into action. And if anybody says it could be illegal, they are the ones who are shunted out. They are the ones who are shut up. PwC. And I want you to think of these things tomorrow and chant them tomorrow, maybe. Robo-debt, PwC, the secret ministries, and I'm the one facing prison. We've seen Oliver Schultz shoot someone on TV. Someone tried to say to me yesterday, oh, but you don't want SAS soldiers to go to prison. I don't want innocent SAS soldiers to go to prison just to make the media happy, no. But yes, I do think Ben Robert-Smith should be on trial, funnily enough. And is he on trial? No. How many years is it going to take? 20? It's funny how they acted a bit faster on me than they did on anyone else. It shows you they care more about secrets than they do about crime. As Eddie said, it's not national security. Another one of the smears is, oh, but surely you must understand that we need to keep some secrets secret. Here's a little test for you. Yeah, as Eddie said, do you think the location of the toilets in Tarancalp was secret? And yeah, it is secret. Anything to do with the Afghanistan war was classified secret. So when they say, oh, he revealed classified information, that could have been the fact that Trooper Bloggs had a boil on his arse lands on a particular date. Anything to do with the operation, whether it was food, boots, toilets, anything in the Afghan theatre of operations was classified. So if I released classified information, it could have been the amount of bog rolls we had. It's pathetic. Don't fall for it. It's not about classified information, it's about crime. It's about government trying to hide under that umbrella. Can we trust them? No. We can't trust them. They're going to say everything is classified information. If I'd revealed the Holocaust, they would have said classified information, classified information. Everything is classified information, and you should say to them, what was it? What was the information? You can even give us a summary, because it was usually crimes, it was usually embarrassing, it was usually things they did not want you to know. That's not classified information. That's hiding the truth from the public who have a right to know about it. It's not codes of secret submarines. It's when people at positions of power broke the laws of Australia for their own selfish reasons. Now that is not something which should be allowed to be kept secret by the government just because they say so. Now we start tomorrow, and there's a very good chance that I will go to prison. I don't care about that, as I've always said, it's neither here nor there. We need to clean up this country. It's not going to clean up this country if they drop the charges. It's not going to clean up this country if I go to jail, but it will draw attention to the problem. It will make more and more people look. Read my book. Tell people to read the book. The book pretty much has it, and there'll be another book where I can actually talk about what went on after the book stops. Say to people, is he a bad person? Yes or no? And is he, how does he compare to David Hurley? How does he compare to Ben Robert-Smith? How does he compare to the head of PwC? How does he compare to the people that ran Robodebt? Why is he the one we're going to put in jail? With all the things that have happened. Weapons of mass destruction, Abu Ghraib, collateral murder. None of those people have faced jail. You know, So say to people, you are sort of my agents. Get out there. When people try to put me down, when people try to ignore this as not being the biggest show in town over the next 3 weeks, say, look, it is the biggest show in town. There's a bit of a dogfight. We always like to see that. Lucky it's not Jake, for once. He might lose his special status as an assistance dog. Hopefully he'll say it was provocation. And it might have been a government agent dog. Anyway, I've been going on too long, but I want you to remember, I always want you to thank you. Yes, it's not a huge crowd here today, but it's huge in my heart. You are part of my family. You are the people who have kept me alive. I was on death's door a few years ago because I saw journalists, as Eddie said. I saw the most famous journalists in Australia. I saw the police first. You know, and I even forget that myself because I've become so disillusioned. And then I get criticised for going on, doing a YouTube channel, and people say, oh, well, you don't look very well on your YouTube channel. Well, how well would you be if everything you believed in turned out to be a lie, and the famous investigative journalists wouldn't help you, and no one really seemed to care that much? Yeah, exactly. You care. You care. And I feel so strong. I really feel they could lock me up and put me away. And you guys know this, but if because it's an unlimited sentence that I face, and while we don't have the death penalty in this country, if they did change it, they would be able to execute me. Now, people say that I'm nuts and everything. Well, I was a soldier and I signed on for what I believed in. But if they said to me, you either back down or we will execute you, everyone here knows I would say, fucking, let's do it. Because you're either right or you're not, and I will not back down. I will not back down because of smears. I will not back down because of threats. Even though I've got 2 young children, you have to set an example. And we have made our peace. I'm almost 60 years old. I've had a really good life. I couldn't really, I couldn't complain. And standing up for what is right is something which you can be very, very happy about. And so people often ask me, would you do it again? Fuck yes, I would do it again. And again and again. And I am so grateful to you. And I just did my job. And someone just said, I'm going to steal her phrase. I did just do my job initially. Now I may be a hero, but the government have made me a hero. And they hate that. They hate to see us laughing. They hate to see us blowing our whistles. They hate to see us having a good time. Because I can tell you, the dweebs who hate me, like Mike Pizzullo and the other, anyone else is like talking out the side of their mouth saying, oh, he's not really who he says he is. They hate the fact that we hold our heads up high and we face what we face, and we might be a tiny minority, but in 10 years, 20 years' time, everyone is going to pretend that they were here in Glebe Park today.
Okay, so don't forget to get David's book. When does it come out? Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday, your book, or Wednesday? Tuesday! Get it from the shelf at the bookshop. And thank you, David McBride. So just remember, the next few weeks are going to be crucial for not just David and his family, but for our democracy. So I guess today the common theme is 3 people doing their job, criminalised for it. So we can't live in a world like that. And really for David, this is the true David and Goliath war. And we're on David's side, and we're going to show up for him. And there might only be like 60 people here today, but we all know hundreds of people, and there are tens of thousands of people standing behind you, David, across Australia and the world that obviously can't get to Canberra today. So we'll be by your side, and see you all tomorrow at 8 a.m. And we just got some more music, The Hot Mess and Spoken Word, and yeah, I'll let them close off the day, and we'll see you all at 8 a.m.
Thank you.
The book launch.
Papa-roo! Yeah!
Yeah, you can turn up to Parliament House any day of the week and protest this. But outside court tomorrow at 8 a.m, stand up for our democracy for David.
The book's called Nature of Honour. It's available in Penguin, in any bookstore, and stay tuned to social media. We're going to have a sort of a unofficial launch sometime this week.
Right.
Bring your whistles. If you can't, come tomorrow, leave your whistle here and I'll disinfect them all for people to use tomorrow. But please come tomorrow morning. It's D-Day, okay?
We'll be
All right,
there.
take it away, band.
Thank you to the MC. And here are the whistleblowers hanging out at the back of the project. There they are. There's the three whistleblowers.
And here's Papa-roo. He's going to jump in before the band. And this, by the way, there's the merch tent over here. You can get t-shirts and stuff. All the money goes to help the campaigns. And there's a very good book there, if you haven't read it, called The Trial of Julian Assange. Please grab a copy. Raffle tickets and you win a copy of the book, a bottle of wine, a t-shirt and a bunch of stuff there. So that's the merch tent over here on my right. So get along and have a quick look there. Okay, here he is.
I'm a beneficiary of Australia's protection. So the judicial lynching of Assange and injustice done to McBride, it's an aberration and must be doggedly opposed and stopped as soon as possible. So having you decent people converge on Canberra to put some gas in the tank and swell the ranks to the resistance, it's a bold statement and it's a commitment to the cause of peace, truth, and equal application of international law and justice with emphasis. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Assange is a target of international vendetta. The puppet masters don't make the process any easier. Beyond the Belmarsh prison cell, it's an agenda testing new rules order. Worried sick, because WikiLeaks opened your eyes. All about power control, keeping the masses in slumber. Assange is not the enemy here, but the boogeyman thrown in the dragon's lair, feeding global psyche fairy tale lies. The scam stopped with Assange leaks. Sigh of relief, indeed, the spin to events is being busted. Still, they give a finger, sense of free speech. It's a permanent war, but there's no stopping us. Protect whistleblowers at all costs. Justice for McBride at all costs. Free the messenger at all costs. Do held in incomunicado. Assange stay in power. Mamma mia, Jesu Cristo. You, me, they, and Q's keep going harder with your foot on the neck. Tapping from your energies and positive vibration. I speak these words into existence as a booster shot to Assange and McBride resilience. When I say libérez Assange, you say justice for McBride. Libérez Assange, 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 justice for McBride. Remember that. Peace out.
Next, we've got up local Canberra musician, Danny V.
Daniel V.
first song I'm going to do for you could be called Song for David McBride. It could be called Song for Richard Boyle, but it is actually called Song for Julian Assange. Well, Song for Julian. So. Hey there, Julian Assange. What's that you got there in your hands? Is it something that was hid away from me? And is it something maybe I should see? Is it blood and murder on a page? Would Shakespeare write about it for the stage? Is there some kind of duplicity that all these people want you to be free? The G-men say that you're a guilty man, should be locked away forever in the can. You got some information, spread it all across the nation. Now you're in a situation, Julian Assange, Julian Assange. You did nothing wrong, you did nothing wrong. That's why I'm bringing you this song. I understand you're a journalist. You let us know about things we would have missed. But sometimes the stories are so hard that the guilty want to keep them under guard. Oh, you must have known there was a heavy chance they'd come gunning for you, but you took the chance. Freedom of the press, come what may, one man against the mighty USA. So now you're just another refugee, locked away and dying to be free. Now your country wants to play with submarines, so put your glory days of freedom in your dreams. All the G-men say that you're guilty men, should be locked away forever in the can. You got some information, spread it all across the nation. Now you're in a situation, Julian Assange, Julian Assange. You did nothing wrong, you did nothing wrong. Julian Assange did nothing wrong. That's why I'm bringing you this song. Well, thank you for that. This next little song, it's called While I Was Waiting. And this song was brought on by just one of the wars. Just imagine some older person in the country that's going. Okay, anyhow, you'll get it. It was because of the Ukraine thing, this, but it could apply to anything. While I was waiting for the war to begin, I sent my words of love to all of my kin. I pray to each and every God that has been. There was no answer to my call. So high the wild birds fly into every golden morning.
could be so free. They came with sticks and stones and arrows and spears, then guided missiles, the intention is clear. All of the clouds in the sky are unclean. Our home is dust and night is fallen. So high the wild birds fly into every golden morning. So high we yearn to fly, if we could be so free. I wanna smoke the missiles down to the fins, hold the poison in my lungs until we can win. Every enemy and God puts a hand to murder and to vanish all the children. So high the wild birds fly into every golden morning. So high we yearn to fly, if we could be so free. Thank you, very interesting people. This next little song's
All right, exposure
almost
28.
like a nursery rhyme. It's
We're
called
low on
The
battery,
Bloodshed.
but if you want to keep on watching this live stream right here is Canberra Protest 2022. So if you want to keep on watching, go over to Canberra Protest 2022 YouTube channel. You can watch it from there. Other than that, thanks for coming in. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. We'll be live tomorrow, nice and early. David McBride is in the Supreme Court tomorrow.
Rocket ships and fireworks and sparkles everywhere.
Excuse me. David McBride, there's his dog Jake. There he is a little bit there, but that's him there. David McBride's in the Australian Capital Territory Supreme Court for being a government employee and exposing corruption and crime within government. So, big day tomorrow. Thank you all for joining. There's a live stream over there, so I'm in between Craig and Rain. Canberra Protest 2022. I'm going to turn this off. So go over to Canberra Protest 2022 YouTube channel and you can keep watching the music. And David McBride, there he is, and his dog Jake, more importantly. Star of the show. Sniff, sniff, woof, woof. But anyway, thanks for coming. Have a good day.